attitudes, behaviors, and ideas are all based on our beliefs. They serve as the filters by which we understand and interpret the outside environment. However, whence do these notions originate? Our surroundings is one important source. We take in knowledge, morals, and social conventions from our schools, families, communities, and the larger society at an early age. These outside factors mold our worldviews, directing our perceptions of what is good and bad, feasible and impractical, and what constitutes success and failure. In turn, our beliefs are represented and understood in our minds by our ideas. They are the mental conversations that continuously mold our emotions, perspectives, and ways of making decisions. Our surroundings have a significant impact on the nature and substance of these thoughts. Our thoughts are shaped by the people we spend time with, the things we read, watch, and do, as well as the experiences we have. Our surroundings have the power to confirm pre-existing notions, refute them, or present completely other viewpoints. An individual's opinions and thoughts are influenced by their surroundings, yet this interaction is dynamic and reciprocal. Although our beliefs and thoughts are shaped by our environment, our beliefs and thoughts also have an impact on how we view and engage with our surroundings. We actively look for data and experiences that support our pre-existing opinions, which feeds back into our worldview and reinforces it. This mutual influence of ideas and surroundings can have profound effects on our decision-making, personal development, and general well-being. Comprehending the complex interactions among an individual's surroundings, convictions, and cognition is essential for growth and self-awareness. We can better understand the forces that have molded our perspectives and behaviors when we acknowledge the impact of our surroundings on our ideas and beliefs. This awareness gives us the ability to question limiting presumptions, assess our views critically, and deliberately select the situations we expose ourselves to. It also emphasizes the possibility of changing oneself and the capacity to build surroundings that support our goals and ideals. Our perception of the world is shaped by our experiences in our surroundings. We are exposed to a variety of interactions and stimuli starting in early life, which helps shape our ideas and beliefs. Growing raised in a loving and caring atmosphere, for instance, might encourage positive outlooks and the conviction that people are inherently good. On the other hand, going through hardship and negativity might make you think more negatively and believe that the world is cruel. Our ideas and opinions are greatly influenced by the social and cultural components of our surroundings. Our perceptions are shaped by the beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors of the people we deal with, including our family, friends, and co-workers. We frequently adapt to the values and customs of our social groupings in an effort to fit in and be accepted. Similar to this, cultural elements like traditions, norms, and society expectations influence our views on a range of topics, including morality, relationships, and success. Our surroundings and the media and information we take in greatly influence the way our ideas and opinions are formed. We are inundated with information from a multitude of media sources in the connected world of today. This knowledge affects how we perceive ourselves as well as how we comprehend society problems and current events. Our perceptions of various social groupings, our attitudes on particular subjects, and the development of prejudices can all be shaped by the way the media portrays certain subjects. Our surroundings both introduces and validates pre-existing ideas and beliefs. Our environment has the power to reinforce and consolidate our ideas and views when we are repeatedly exposed to particular concepts, stories, or experiences. Furthermore, cognitive processes like confirmation bias, in which we look for evidence to support our pre-existing beliefs, also play a role in the construction and maintenance of our worldview. Understanding how our surroundings shape our ideas and opinions is crucial for developing personally. Understanding how our environment affects how we perceive things allows us to question and critically analyze our beliefs, especially those that might be harmful or restrictive. By becoming aware of the ambient elements that shape our thinking, we may choose the environments we interact with consciously, looking for settings that complement our goals and ideals. The vicious circle theory holds that there is a self-reinforcing cycle between an individual's attitudes and beliefs and their surroundings. According to this perspective, our surroundings reflect the ideas and opinions we have inside of us. Our pre-existing views are confirmed and reinforced by the situations and events we face outside of ourselves, which causes the same thought patterns to persist. Someone may find themselves in situations that support their opinion that they are undeserving of achievement, for instance, if they are in poisonous relationships or unsatisfying jobs. This keeps the cycle going by reinforcing their pessimistic ideas. The sequential sequence perspective proposes a linear and progressive relationship between an individual's thoughts and beliefs and their environment, in contrast to the vicious circle approach. According to this theory, our observations and interpretations of our surroundings first influence our thoughts and beliefs. Our ideas and opinions change and adjust as a result of fresh experiences and encounters with various viewpoints. This viewpoint highlights the possibility of personal development and transformation since people can actively look for new settings that contradict their preconceived notions and encourage constructive change. The vicious cycle and sequential sequence perspectives offer opposing points of view, but it's important to understand that there are many facets and dynamics in the link between thoughts, beliefs, and environment. It is not just a question of one point of view being totally true or false. The reality could have aspects of both viewpoints, depending on the individual and the circumstances. Asking ourselves whether the relationship is a series of events or a vicious loop promotes critical introspection about our own experiences and convictions. We may better grasp how our environment affects our ideas and beliefs and how our internal world impacts our experiences outside of it by looking at the patterns and dynamics at work. Through self-reflection, we can confront any negative patterns or limiting ideas that might be impeding our personal development and fulfillment. Our attitudes, choices, and behaviors are all shaped by our thoughts and beliefs. They affect our perceptions and interpretations of the environment we live in. Certain ideas and beliefs serve as filters, influencing our relationships and experiences. For instance, we are more likely to be proactive, look for opportunities, and have a positive influence on our surroundings if we have confidence in our own skills and potential. Our attitudes and impressions of the environment are shaped by our thoughts and beliefs. They establish our degree of resilience, optimism, and receptivity to novel situations. A self-fulfilling prophecy might arise when we view difficulties as insurmountable due to negative or restricting ideas. Conversely, empowering and upbeat ideas can help us develop a growth mindset, which allows us to see failures as chances for improvement. Our interactions and relationships with people are influenced by our thoughts and beliefs as well. Beliefs that uphold kindness, empathy, and understanding increase our likelihood of fostering a peaceful and encouraging environment. On the other hand, unfavorable views like bias or mistrust can cause an atmosphere that is poisonous and polarizing. Our behaviors are shaped by our thoughts and beliefs, which in turn affect how well our relationships work and how our environment feels overall. Understanding how our ideas and beliefs affect the world we live in gives us control over it. We may create an environment that is more advantageous and accommodating for ourselves and others when we deliberately decide to foster optimistic and empowering attitudes. We are able to actively pursue our objectives and desires because our thoughts and beliefs influence our decisions and behaviors. Breaking free from negative cycles begins with realizing that ideas and beliefs create the environment. We can build a more empowering internal world that has a positive effect on our external environment by questioning and altering our limiting beliefs. By means of introspection, awareness, and deliberate self-improvement, we can change our ideas and convictions, which in turn can change the surroundings in which we live. Our surroundings give us the framework for how we see and understand the world. Our understanding of ourselves and others is shaped by the people, circumstances, and experiences we come across. For instance, our views of the significance of knowledge and learning may be influenced by our upbringing in an atmosphere that values education and intellectual endeavors. In a similar vein, socialization and exposure to people who espouse particular beliefs or ideologies can shape our own ideas and opinions. We are ingrained in our society and culture's conventions, values, and beliefs from an early age. Our ideas and values are shaped by our family, the educational system, and larger societal institutions. We pick up on social norms, expectations, and what is considered right and bad. Our worldview can be significantly impacted by this cultural indoctrination, which shapes our ideas and opinions on a range of topics including politics, religion, and morality. The media greatly influences our ideas and opinions in the current digital era. Our worldview is shaped by the information we take in from a variety of media sources, such as news sources, social media, and television. Biases, storylines, and representations in the media have the power to alter our views, strengthen existing beliefs, and even generate new ones. Our ideas and opinions can be shaped by the messages we are constantly exposed to in the media, frequently without our conscious awareness. Feedback loops allow our thoughts and beliefs to become self-reinforcing once they are influenced by our surroundings. For instance, we could interpret events in a way that supports our perception that the world is hostile if we have that opinion. Thus, in order to further solidify our negative ideas and attitudes, we could actively seek out or draw relationships and circumstances that support this viewpoint. It is difficult to escape restrictive or harmful routines because of this reinforcement, which keeps the vicious cycle going. Although the environment has a significant impact on our ideas and opinions, it is not a fixed factor. We possess the ability to question and alter our environment. We can extend our perspective and confront our preconceived notions by actively seeking out different viewpoints, exercising critical thought, and exposing oneself to novel situations. Additionally, we can establish a positive feedback loop that strengthens empowering ideas and beliefs by deliberately selecting surroundings that complement our values and foster our personal development. As was covered in the earlier sections, our ideas and convictions have the ability to influence the surroundings. They have an impact on our perception and interpretation of the environment around us, which in turn has an impact on our relationships, decisions, and behaviors. Positive and empowering thoughts increase our likelihood of fostering an atmosphere that embodies those attributes. For instance, a person who actively works to create an inclusive and fair atmosphere may do so because they believe in equality and justice. Concurrently, our thoughts and opinions are reinforced and influenced by our surroundings. Our environment's experiences, interactions, and feedback may confirm or contradict the views we already have. Our ideas and views can become stronger and more firmly held if we live in a setting that regularly validates and supports them. However, a setting that contradicts our views can force us to reconsider and perhaps change the way we think. Thoughts and surroundings interact to produce feedback loops that might intensify particular patterns. A self-reinforcing loop is created and our thoughts and the surroundings are in sync. For example, it can intensify feelings of inadequacy and lead to a repetition of negative ideas and an atmosphere that reinforces the belief that we are undeserving of success if we find ourselves in situations that consistently support this belief. Interrupting the never-ending loop of influence between thoughts and surroundings is necessary to escape the unpleasant characteristics of the vicious circle. It entails identifying and confronting limiting ideas, deliberately selecting settings that foster development and constructive change, and actively searching out viewpoints that deepen our understanding. Through breaking down the negative feedback loops that perpetuate patterns of behavior, we can start a transformational journey towards more positive and powerful ideas and surroundings. Acquiring self-awareness is a fundamental first step toward comprehending the complex interplay between thoughts and surroundings. We can learn more about how our surroundings affect us and how our thoughts shape our experiences by keeping an eye on our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in various contexts. By being aware of this, we may choose our surroundings and the ideas we feed into our minds more deliberately. Unwritten expectations and regulations that control conduct and mold a community's or society's collective awareness are known as societal norms. These standards can apply to a variety of facets of life, including relationships, gender roles, job decisions, and cultural customs. They provide a foundation for social order, but they can also stifle human development, originality, and innovation. Adherence to established social standards frequently prompts people to develop attitudes and actions consistent with those expectations. While this conformity might foster a feeling of comfort and belonging, it can also inhibit individuality and fulfillment. We risk internalizing constrictive ideas about our own potential and our options for a life when we blindly follow social conventions. Questioning and opposing the constraints imposed by society norms is a necessary part of breaking the norm. It necessitates a readiness to engage in critical thought, analyze firmly held views, and take into account different viewpoints. By doing this, we can break free from the limitations imposed by society norms and investigate fresh avenues for development on a personal and self-actualization level. It's possible to embrace our uniqueness and authenticity when we deviate from the usual. It entails identifying and respecting our individual traits, principles, and interests, even when they deviate from accepted social norms. We can develop a sense of fulfillment and lead lives that are in line with our genuine selves by remaining loyal to who we are. Overcoming the surroundings entails overcoming the constraints placed on us by the outside forces that mold our existence. It means acknowledging that we are capable of forging our own route, independent of cultural expectations or the situations we find ourselves in. We may overcome adversity, question the status quo, and accomplish amazing personal progress if we refuse to let our surroundings define us. Often, breaking the mold means going against the grain and encountering opposition from people who have a stake in keeping things as they are. Resilience and self-assurance in our skills and abilities are necessary for this. We can overcome challenges, endure in the face of hardship, and bring about significant change in our lives as well as the lives of others by cultivating a strong sense of self-worth and believing in our potential. People who live truly and reject cultural standards act as catalysts for change and revolution. They encourage others to reevaluate their own views and set out on their own paths of personal development and self-discovery by questioning the accepted conventions. Breaking the mold in this way can benefit society as a whole by creating a domino effect. To truly break the mold, we must acknowledge and accept our own potential. Everybody has special abilities, passions, and skills that, with the right support and guidance, can result in amazing success. We can unleash our strength and reach our unrealized potential by defying social rules and pursuing our aspirations. It is essential to identify our own dreams, objectives, and aspirations if we are to go against the grain and aim for greatness. This process necessitates self-examination, introspection, and a thorough comprehension of the things that genuinely inspire and motivate us. We create the conditions for pursuing our passions and attaining extraordinary results by defining our goals and visualizing the life we want. Stepping outside of our comfort zone and overcoming fear and resistance are common components of breaking the mold. There are times when society discourages breaking the rules or places restrictions on what is deemed to be reasonable or attainable. Nevertheless, we may overcome these obstacles and proceed with tenacity and resilience if we acknowledge and face our concerns. There are obstacles to overcome and mistakes to be made when defying convention. But it's precisely because of these difficulties that we develop, mature, and sharpen our strategy. We acquire the resiliency and perseverance required to overcome challenges and realize our goals when we see failure as a chance for personal development and see it as a necessary step on the path to success. It takes courage and determination to defy expectations. It entails taking calculated chances, venturing into the unknown, and seizing chances that fit with our goals. We can move forward and generate the momentum required for dramatic change by adopting a proactive and action-oriented mindset. When defying convention, it is crucial to have a network of supportive people around us. Making connections with people who share our vision and beliefs can be a source of inspiration, support, and guidance while we travel. A solid support network may assist us in maintaining our concentration, overcoming obstacles, and celebrating our victories, creating an atmosphere that is favorable to excellence. We can leave a lasting legacy by challenging the status quo and aiming for greatness. In addition to realizing our own potential, pursuing our desires, objectives, and ambitions also encourages and uplifts those around us. Our successes can act as a lighthouse of hope, inspiring others to reject social norms and embrace their own journeys. In order to properly defy convention, we must assess the circumstances we are in at the moment. This entails evaluating the individuals, settings, and situations that have an impact on our life. Through a thorough analysis of our environment, we can pinpoint any elements that could obstruct or conflict with the direction we want to take. Seeking out and aligning with supportive people who share our vision and values is a necessary step in creating a new environment. Having like-minded individuals around us who support and understand our goals can provide us the motivation, cooperation, and support we need to keep moving forward. Creating a network of people who support us can have a big impact on our capacity to rise above the ordinary and accomplish greatness. Often, breaking the mold means looking for fresh viewpoints and extending our views. This entails exposing oneself to various cultures, viewpoints, and experiences that go against our preconceived notions and broaden our perspective on what is feasible. Seeking out different viewpoints allows us to develop new ideas, make creative solutions, and promote personal development. The actual surroundings in which we work and live have a significant impact on our success and general well-being. When defying convention, it's critical to provide a tangible environment that uplifts our ambitions. This could be rearranging our living area to better suit our ideal lifestyle and set of values, or it could even mean moving to a new location that fosters creativity, productivity, and focus. Beyond just changing the outside environment, creating a new environment also entails developing a growth mindset within each of us. Through the adoption of a mindset that prioritizes ongoing education, adaptation, and resilience, we may effectively negotiate the obstacles and uncertainties that accompany deviating from the usual. Having a growth mindset enables us to welcome change as a driving force for personal development and to see obstacles as chances for personal improvement. When defying convention, it's critical to put your well-being and self-care first. Maintaining our physical, mental, and emotional well-being guarantees that we possess the vitality, discernment, and fortitude necessary to strive for our goals. This could entail creating habits that promote our well-being, taking part in enjoyable and calming activities, and asking for help when necessary. Developing a positive internal conversation is another aspect of creating a new environment for oneself. Our actions and results are significantly influenced by the ideas and opinions we have about ourselves. We may build an atmosphere within ourselves that supports resilience, confidence, and the belief that we can surpass the norm and accomplish our goals by questioning self-limiting ideas, practicing self-compassion, and cultivating self-belief. In order to deviate from the usual, we must examine the presumptions and ideas that our surroundings have entrenched in us. Our thoughts and potential can be restricted by the assumptions and standards that society frequently operates under. We can challenge the status quo and discover new options by critically analyzing these presumptions and beliefs. To think larger, deeper, and more holistically is to welcome innovation and creativity. It necessitates using our creativity and investigating novel concepts and methods. Thinking outside the box that the surroundings have set allows us to find creative solutions and forge new routes that lead to success. In order to deviate from the standard, it is essential to look for and take into account a wide range of opinions. Interacting with people from various fields, backgrounds, and cultures broadens our perspective on the world and introduces us to novel concepts. We may overcome our own prejudices, extend our perspectives, and come up with original solutions to challenging issues by actively seeking out different viewpoints. Deviating from the usual necessitates a dedication to lifelong learning as well as intellectual curiosity. Through cultivating a lifelong learning mindset, we can increase our knowledge, proficiency, and capacity. We are able to keep ahead of the curve, adjust to changing conditions, and address problems with a thorough understanding because of our constant quest for knowledge. When deviating from the norm, it's critical to adopt a systemic mindset and take into account the wider ramifications and connections between our activities. Comprehending the intricate network of connections, establishments, and elements that mold our community is necessary for this. Through a comprehensive approach and a thoughtful assessment of the enduring effects of our decisions, we may devise remedies that tackle fundamental problems and usher in enduring transformation. To think bigger, deeper, and more holistically is to practice empathy and compassion. We can gain a better grasp of the effects of cultural standards by putting ourselves in other people's shoes and taking into account their viewpoints and experiences. Our capacity for empathy empowers us to advocate for a more inclusive and equitable society and to face change with compassion. It is essential to question the status quo and be willing to take chances in order to deviate from the standard. This calls for bravery, tenacity, and a firm faith in our goal. We may recognize the shortcomings and restrictions of the current system and actively work toward transformative change by thinking bigger, deeper, and more broadly.